Students, in this class, I'm going to discuss with you some of the figures of speech. In the last few classes, I had discussed with you alliteration, I had discussed with you metaphor, simile, and hyperbole. In this class, I'm going to discuss with you personification. Now, the question arises that what is personification? If you break the word personification, you will get person, person, then you will get ification, ification. Person plus ification is equal to personification. The word contains person when you attribute a man like quality or a person like quality to a thing, to an emotion, or to something which is non living. That is called the use of personification. Personification adds to the beauty of a poem. It does gives an immense pleasure while a poet uses personification in his or her poem. A very simple example of personification is that the wind was very hunting. The wind was like a hunter. Blow, blow, thou winter wind. Personification means the country was weeping at his death. Country, how can a country weep? A country cannot weep. But the people of a particular country may weep at the death of some great personality. So this is called personification. You may have seen in some of the poems that non-living things talking to one another. You may have found that flowers and grass and leaves, trees, fruits, they are talking to one another. This is a very simple and safer example of personification. A simple example is that flowers are laughing, flowers are smiling. At page number 90 of Flamingo, there is a poem. You will have to study that poem. The title of that poem is My Mother at 66. In line number 8, you will find a line, a sentence that is young trees sprinting. Young trees sprinting. Sprint means, a very fast running practice is called sprinting. Whether within few seconds a runner has to cover 100 meter. That's called sprint. A very fast running. And in this poem, you'll find out that young trees, Y is in capital letter and trees, T is in capital letter. So, Y young trees are written in capital letter, though it is, you can know that it is common noun. Young trees is not a proper noun. It's not the name of a particular person, the particular place or thing. So why the poet Kamla Das in page number 90 has used young trees in capital letter? Is it wrong? Or is it archaic, out of use, obsolete? No. It's because the poet has used personification. Young trees sprint, young trees runs very fast like a sprinter, means young trees are attributed with man-like qualities. This is a very simple and safer example of personification. Another example of personification is at his coming. All the people. At his coming, the village was smiling. At his death, whole country has been weeping. At his homecoming, all the people, all the houses are smiling. So these are the simple examples of personification. How houses can smile, how country can weep, how chairs and tables can talk to each other. This is because of personification. You may have heard of a story where there is a will, there is a way. You may have heard a story that where there is wisdom, there is power. And you may have seen slow and steady wins the race, where two tortoises they run a race with a rabbit. And you may have seen that the tortoise wins the race and the rabbit it loses the race. And they talk to each other like human being. This is an example, this is an example of personification. Now, the next figures of speech which we have to discuss here is onomatopoeia. Now, what is this onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia means a word which signifies some sound, like hiss, Hiss. Hiss itself tells us that is the sound of a snake, like neigh, the sound of a horse, like burst, the sound of a bomb or something. Onomatopoeia is used in a poem to give it the realistic picture, to give it the realistic quality, as if you are just listening the sound through a word. That's why poets use onomatopoeia in some poems. The next figures of speech, which is very, very important and which you must know, it's called assonance. Assonance is like alliteration. Assonance means the repetition of vowel sound words in close succession in a sentence. As you have seen in alliteration, there is repetition of consonant sound words in quick succession, but in assonance, you will find the repetition of vowel sounds, and you must know what are vowel sounds or how many vowel sounds are there. There are 5 vowel sounds in all: A, E, I, O, U. So the repetition of these sounds in quick succession in a sentence in a poem is called assonance. He, she, the mother and the daughter in a lane. This is the use of assonance. Use of E. Repetition of E means E is a vowel, so this is called assonance. Wonder, wonder everywhere. Again, in wonder, wonder, you find the repetition of O sound, W-O, W-O. So this is called assonance. There is another figures of speech frequently used by the poets in their poem, and that figures of speech is called synecdoche. Synechdoche. Synecdoche. Some people pronounce it as synecdoche also, but it is pronounced as synecdoche. Synecdoche means a figures of speech when a part becomes the whole and the whole becomes the part. A very simple example is his hands were praying. The hands alone cannot pray, but the whole body of a human being prays. So the whole becomes the part and the part becomes the whole. The hand signifies the human being, the complete body. Another example, we almost say often that our bike has punctured, or our cycle has punctured, or the car has punctured. How can a car or a cycle or a bike may puncture? It's the tire or the tube which punctures, isn't it? So this is the use of synecdoche. The part becomes the whole becomes the part. Her tongue was praying. How can a tongue pray? Tongue means the whole body of a woman or a sister is praying. So this is called synecdoche. where the whole become the part become the whole. In the next class, we'll start some more technical things regarding poetry, without which your study of poetry will be useless, it will be half, it will be little, and you know that little knowledge is a dangerous thing. So if you have to study poem, if you have to know about poetry, you must know the technical terms like what is poetry, what are the figures of speech, what is figurative language, what is rhetoric, what is prosody, what is rhyme, then it is useful to study poetry. Thank you. In the next class, we'll discuss something more. Do make notes, otherwise, you will fail or you will score very less, which is useless at all. So, make notes and study well. Thank you.